Here's the problem. Backups are wonderful. Running backups are not quite as fun. You gotta sit your laptop down or computer down, plug in an external hard drive, wait for something to run, remember to do it. It's a hassle. Well, one of my favorite parts about owning a NAS or network attached storage device is that you can use it to back up your internal hard drive completely wirelessly. Because a NAS becomes part of your home network, so long as your computer is connected to your network through Wi-Fi or through Ethernet, wherever you are in your home, your computer can be using Time Machine to back up wirelessly to the NAS, which means if you delete a file, delete a folder, or your computer even dies, you can restore from the backup very easily. This video is going to be a complete setup guide on how to use Time Machine to back up your Mac computer to a NAS. Let's dive in. So first off, what is Time Machine and why is it called that? Well, Time Machine creates a true versioned backup of your computer, which means that yes, it can restore data if your computer dies, and that's awesome. It's really good at that as well. It can bring your computer back to life essentially when you replace the hard drive. But also through versioning, if you delete a file or a folder and you want it back, you can access your Time Machine and go back in time to retrieve it. And this is awesome. I have myself many times accidentally deleted files or folders from my computer and used Time Machine to go back and restore them. So what do you need in order to make this happen? Well, the good news is most of it is software based and Time Machine comes pre-installed on Mac OS, so there's no need to install anything. You will need a NAS, however, the brand doesn't matter. Now on the NAS, we're gonna wanna set up a new shared folder that we can use for the Time Machine backup. So I'm gonna go in here to my files and I'm gonna go to shared folder and click on this plus sign to create a brand new shared folder. Now, for those of you who don't know, I am accessing my NAS through my web browser right now, which for most companies is how you configure things, set up new shared folders, things like that. And I'm accessing my NAS via its IP address up here in the address bar. I have a lot of other videos that cover basic NAS setup, so definitely check those out. Now I'm gonna go ahead and create a new shared folder, and I'm gonna give this shared folder the name Time Machine Backup. Now, if you have multiple users who are going to all be backing up their computers to your NAS, I would recommend making a separate shared folder for each user. So for an example, I have one on my main NAS called Forest Time Machine, and then my wife has one called Sarah Time Machine, and we each back up to our respective shared folder. Next, we can choose which volume we want to put the shared folder on. For most of you, you'll have one volume, so just leave it there. And then there's an option for a volume usage limit. This is essentially a data cap. The NAS will prevent Time Machine from using too much space on the drive. And this is awesome. However, you can also do this through Time Machine preferences. It doesn't really matter which side you do it on. I'm gonna do it here though. I'm gonna go ahead and enable the volume usage limit. And then for the limit, generally you wanna be at least 2 times larger than the size of your internal hard drive. So check whatever size the drive inside of your computer is. In this case, I have a 512 gigabyte internal hard drive. So I'm gonna set my volume usage limit to 1 terabyte, which will give me double the space. Now, more here just means that essentially Time Machine can keep older versions of your computer. So if you delete a file and you don't realize you delete it for like 5 years, you're like, where's that thing I deleted? Technically, if your backup drive has enough space, you should be able to go back and restore data that far back. The smaller your backup drive is, the less back in time you'll be able to go. So the 2 times your internal hard drive storage is just a general guideline. The next thing I'm gonna do is turn on hide in network. I actually don't want this shared folder showing up when I go connect to server, because I really want it to be reserved just for Time Machine, and Time Machine will be able to see it even if we turn on this checkbox. And then finally, I'm gonna disable recycle bin, because again, Time Machine has its own recycle bin management, so I don't need to leave it on here. All right, this all looks good. I'm gonna go ahead and click on create, and it's gonna ask me which users I wanna give permission to this folder. Now this is something I do wanna pause here and say, you may wanna create a dedicated user account just for Time Machine and have your Time Machine access the NAS through that user account, so it only has permission to access this one shared folder. In my case though, I'm the only one who uses this NAS, so I'm not super worried about that, but do keep in mind that if there's multiple people accessing the NAS, you probably want to set up a dedicated user account that only you have access to that you use for this shared folder. And from here, I'm going to go ahead and click on confirm. Okay, so here is our shared folder. Again, whatever brand of NAS you use should be a fairly similar setup process. Now what I'm gonna do is close out of this. I'm gonna go into Control Panel. And again, this is another one of those steps. Some brands require that you do this. Ugreen is one of them. I'm gonna go to File Service. I'm gonna go to Advanced Settings, and I'm gonna come down here and enable Bonjour service. Let me turn this on. And then next I need to go to Set Time Machine Folder, and I'm gonna put a checkbox next to Time Machine Backup. Essentially, we're indicating to the UGOS, the Ugreen OS, that that specific shared folder we would like to broadcast as a Time Machine Backup folder. Now again, if you're setting up multiple Time Machine Backup folders for different family members, you're gonna wanna go in here and check next to each of the different Time Machine folders that you create. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and click on Save, and that's going to get that set, and then click Apply. So real simple, again, those of you who are following along with other NAS manufacturers, all we're doing is we're creating a new shared folder, maybe creating a new user account if you want to restrict access to that shared folder. Then we're going to want to make sure that Bonjour service is enabled and that Time Machine is set to on for the shared folder we're using. And now that I'm in settings, I'm going to click on General, and down at the bottom of General, way down here is Time Machine. I'm gonna go ahead and click on that, and you'll notice that I have no previous backup disks here. You may see a couple things up here at the top. These would be like past hard drives that you maybe have used with Time Machine. A lot of folks I notice, they set up a Time Machine backup and then they kind of forget about it and they never plug the drive in. That's why I love this technique, because it'll just run in the background. You don't have to do anything. But regardless, you can remove out old backup disks if you want to with the minus sign, but here we want to add a backup disk. And those of you who already have one, you'll see a plus sign in the lower left, I believe, where you can add a backup disk. So I'm gonna click on that button. It's going to search, and you'll notice immediately I actually have some other Time Machine shared folders broadcasting on my network, but this is the one that I just set up, Time Machine Backup on my YouTube test NAS, and you see it detects it right there. So real simple, as long as your computer's on the same network and you did everything right, you should see in this list right here the drive or the shared folder being broadcast on the network. I can go ahead and select that drive and click on Setup Disk. And now it's asking for my username and password. This is either the username and password you use for everything on your NAS, or again, if you set up a dedicated user account, you would type that in here as well. I'm gonna go ahead and click on Connect. And here we go. So now we have a couple choices. We can see first off, it's identified that there's only 1 terabyte available. Again, we set a disk usage limit on that shared folder when we configured it. So it's respecting that, which is cool. We have an option to encrypt. Now, encrypting your backup is great. It protects the data on the backup. Essentially, if someone was ever to like take your NAS and run away with it, they would have a Time Machine backup of your computer, which they could go into. They could find all your emails, all your bookmarks, all your files, all your stuff. It would all be on this backup. Remember, you're backing up your entire computer to this drive. So I highly recommend encrypting, unless you're not really worried about that. If the NAS lives in your house and you're not worried about someone like taking it and running, like that doesn't happen that often, you don't need to encrypt it. But if you are at all worried about someone having access to your data, you may want to do that. Here's the thing. If you forget your encryption password, there's no way to recover the data. There's no like reset my password option. So if you're not great with passwords, let me just put it that way, or if you're worried about forgetting your password, I would turn this off. However, if you have a password you use for everything, go ahead and type it in here. If you have a password manager, just write it down and run a little encryption. I'm gonna go ahead and turn it off, and then I'm also going to disable disk usage limit, but this is where, like I said before, you can actually set a disk usage limit at this level as well. However, we already set one for the entire shared folder. So I'm gonna set this to none, and I'm gonna click on Done. And just like that, Time Machine now is linked to that shared folder on my NAS. And now automatically throughout the day, whether I'm sitting on my couch just browsing the web, or whether I'm sitting at my desk plugged in doing real work, whatever it is, no matter where I am, as long as I'm within my home network, Time Machine will be automatically backing up my data to the NAS. There's no need to click a button. There's no need to like go in and do anything. It just runs and it works beautifully. Now, a couple quick things. The first backup is going to take quite a while. So using Wi-Fi for that is not quite recommended. It'll take a while. I'd probably plug in with Ethernet if you can for that initial backup because it's got to copy a lot of information. It'll work over Wi-Fi. It'll just take a little longer. I also want to point out that you can see the status here of how the backup is going. You can see it says next backup in 8 seconds and it's counting down. You also though can go to options and you can set your backup frequency. So if you want it to back up every hour, every day, every week, manually, I definitely would not recommend manually. I think people forget far too often. I would go at least every day. Again, this is all one of those things of the more often you back up, the more likely you are to be able to recover a file that you may have created and then accidentally deleted. So you back up every hour you're going to have the ability to go back and pull files that you may have created and then deleted. I will also point out that you can exclude certain things from the backup. By default, macOS will exclude external hard drives and I actually recommend that you keep it that way. While Time Machine can back up external hard drives, there are far better ways to do that I've talked about on this channel. But other than that, it runs in the background and it does a phenomenal job. The final thing I want to mention on the management of the Time Machine backup is that up here on the menu bar, you should have a little clock icon. And if you click on that, that will show you the status of the backup. So right now, I'm not plugged into any part of my network. I'm completely on Wi-Fi, and you can see it's already starting to copy data over to my NAS, which is a long way away from here, and it's all automatic and wonderful. So now that we've got this configured, how easy is it to use? Well, first of all, if your main hard drive in your computer ever dies, when you're setting up macOS for the first time, there's an option to restore from a Time Machine backup. So in the event of like a catastrophic hard drive failure, it's very simple to recover from your Time Machine backup. But again, you also can restore individual files or folders that you may need. All you got to do in order to do this is open the Time Machine app. Inside of your applications folder, you have an app called Time Machine. Again, the configuration happens through system settings, but the actual using Time Machine happens through the app. And if I open up Time Machine, it's going to load me into this Time Machine view where I can essentially go back in time through the versions of my computer. Over on the right, you'll see here are all of my backups back through, let's see, April 8th of 2025, which is when I initially set up this Time Machine backup. So I can go back that far if I need to. And then we also can go to a specific folder. Like if I go to my desktop, you can see today I have a folder to make this not look as messy as it is. I put my entire desktop into a folder called desktop stuff, but really I have a bunch on my desktop. Let's say I had something on my desktop a few months ago I want to recover. Well, very easily I can just go back and say, all right, let's see what was on my desktop on September 7th of 2025. And if I click on that over here, it will actually take me back to this point. And you can see I have some screenshots and some things like that. So very easily we can go back, and then if I want to recover something, I can click on a file or a folder or many folders, and I can click on the restore button. And that'll take that file from my Time Machine backup and it'll put it back on my desktop of my computer today. Very, very powerful. And again, this is for your entire machine. So it's not just watching your desktop or one folder or another, it's backing up everything. So in the event of a single file or folder that you need, we have this restore button. We can go through all the different old versions of our backup. And again, the larger your hard drive, the more old versions you have to go back to. Very nice. But also in the event of catastrophic failure, you can recover when you're setting up macOS for the first time. All right, everybody, that sums up this video. I do want to say real fast, let me know in the comments down below if you remember the old Apple Time Capsule. It was like a Wi-Fi Airport Extreme with a hard drive that was like a time machine, wireless time machine backup. I remember as like a young teenager, I was like blown away by that technology, and now we can do it with a NAS. You could probably do it with a NAS back then too, but if you remember the Time Capsule, let me know in the comments. If you have any other questions, let me know down in the comments as well. But there you go. I hope that helps. A totally hands-off, automatic, wireless backup of your computer, all right there and ready to go. Leave any questions down below in the comments, drop a like down below, hit subscribe to stay up to date with future videos, and I hope to see you in the next one.